Let's get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from today. My name is Octavie Shakut, and I was Community Manager for NetOps. Uh, Thank you so much for taking time out of your day and joining us today. We are joined by Amit Mowanti and Sadi, who are both product managers for Spectrum. Amit will be presenting you today, so he'll be showing you a demo of the new web app. I'll pass to him in a couple of minutes. Please help keeping your line on mute to prevent background noises. This is going to be a 30-minute session. Please use this opportunity to ask any question you may have in the chat box throughout the session. I think we are good to go. The recording is on. Amit, it is now my very great pleasure to give you the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Octave, and also like to thank Sarab for joining me on this call. Folks, we introduced Spectrum web app, the OneClick web app, as a beta with our Spectrum 10.3.1. So what we'll talk about today is quick, you know, what are the advantages of the OneClick web app. I have some screenshots that I've taken out of the actual web app. And then I'll quickly move into an actual demo where I'll open, the Java console on one side and the OneClick web app on the other side, right, on the same screen, side by side. And then we can see that it's an exact, instance of the Java thick client. So let's get into this, right? So again, since a long time, we have had the Java thick client as our one-click, source, and that always had, issues associated, particularly with, updating Java, particularly with having to download a JNLP file each time we want to open a instance of one-click. Now, with this swing-based one-click web app, that goes away. So this actually allows us to open an instance of the one-click thick client without invoking Java. Now, on the same lines, since we open an exact instance of the one-click, so there's no, learning curve or anything associated with the operators trying to use this web app. Now, on top of that, the Swing UI also has several admin capabilities which can be of use, particularly, get details of around session statistics, session control, have ability to record a session, have ability to access control. So those are kind of the key advantages of the one-click web app. Now with that, let me quickly, again, these are screenshots. I'll have an actual demo once I run through these screenshots. So what you have is the actual one-click web app where you can click and you open up the WebSwing instance, right? And in this particular screenshot, I've compared both side by side, right? On the right-hand side, what you have is the one-click web app, whereas on the left-hand side, you have the one-click Java console. So it's exactly the same, the look, feel, and this makes the adoption of the web app extremely easy and quick. Now, I also have several other, these are all screenshots out of the Java one-click on a browser, right? You have the views for alarms, you have the topology views, you have the locator tab. So you can exactly perform the same functions that you performed on the one-click thick client on this Java one-click web app, right? And then all the admin functions, all the utilities. Now I talked about the admin features, right? In terms of admin features, you have session statistics, you have ability to, control sessions, you have ability to record sessions, and some of these are particularly useful, when you want to share details with support, when you want to exactly identify where an user is encountering issues. And again, these are again screenshots out of the admin features. And when I go into the actual demo, you'll see that. Now, with that, let me actually move to the actual demo. In the meantime, if you have any questions or feel free to type them on the chat window. So what I'm doing right now is I'm opening up an instance of the Spectrum, right? And if I click on the Start console, this is the traditional method which wants me to download a JNLP file. So it is downloaded, and this is the typical way I open up using Java. So I mean, typically, if required, it will ask me for an upgrade of the Java and all that stuff. So it's very fine. And on the same screen, if I click on the OneClick web app, it will take me to the. So this is for the Java that you're encountering. Okay. So you can see it actually. So I had opened the web app previously on this machine. So that's why it took me back to the original session that I was on, right? And in the meantime, let me see if the Java opened up, right? Yes. So this is where you actually see the Java. And let me compare both of them side by side. Okay. Right on the right hand side, this is my web app, and if I open the same exact view on my, let me go to the universe. Let me go to the topology. Yeah. So the exact view that you see here, and in terms of the ability to perform any particular function, right? If you want to, say for example, take a look in the NCM, right? You could do that. If you want to take a look into the chassis manager, or go into any particular uh, chassis level switches, you could do that on the web app. Exact same function as that we do on the OneClick thick client. Let me open. So I go into the chassis manager on the OneClick thick client. So exact same operations, whatever you do on the OneClick thick client, you have the ability to do that on the OneClick web app. Now let's try and explore the admin aspect of the OneClick web app, right? Again, so typically it will ask you to log in into the admin console. I had already logged in into this machine, so it remembers me. Now what you see here is the actual status of the sessions. And if you go to show configs, and you go to sessions, it will actually show up the running sessions, the finished sessions. You have the ability to record a particular session. You have the ability to view what is happening in that. You have the ability to shut it down. let me go back. And then, of course, you have the configurations and the logs for each of the session that was there. I'm going back to my dashboard here. Okay, let me go back to the OneClick web app. In the meantime, I think I have some questions. Let me see. Okay, I think Sarah has taken care of most of the questions. Okay, so the point being, whatever you did on the one-click thick client, you have the ability to do everything on the Spectrum web app, right? And on top of that, you have the admin features of the web, which allows you better control, which allows you ability to record, which allows you ability to look at statistics. Now, that being said, we still, as Saurabh rightly said, we're going GA with 10.3.2, but we still have the window to, we're still currently taking beta participants for 10.3.2, where you can come in and, test the web app. And in case you've not started to do that yet, we'd like to invite you again to take advantage of that, download the load and start doing your testing on the OneClick web app. I did notice there were questions around what's the memory, what's the capacity. So we're coming out with detailed documentation on that in terms of what would be the what would be the scale limitations and what would be the memory utilizations. So we're coming out with that, and as and when you come into our beta program, we are more than happy to share those with you. So from a demo perspective, that was really kind of comparing both these screens, the one-click web app and the one-click thick client. And we're happy to take questions because we still have at least 15 odd minutes left in this session. And at the same time, if any of you are interested to participate in our beta, we're happy to share the process to do that. So after, maybe we can open this up for questions.
Okay, thank you, Amit, for this demo. If you have any question for Amit, please, you can unmute your line or you can use the chat box. So we have already some question in the chat box that had been, I think most of them have been answered by Sab. Thank you, Sab. But if you want to ask some live question, you can unmute your line by hitting #6. Well, we still have 15 minutes left, so please ask your questions.
And we're going to make this recording also available. So in case you wanted to refer the recording, you could do that at a later point.
So, Amit, it looks like your presentation was pretty clear. I can see more questions. Um, one question. How does the MIP tools look like? Can you use it as a separate window?
Okay. So let's go into the MIP tools.
Sorry, I don't know that.
You still there, Emmett?
Yeah, I think I'm on. I lost my screen though.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Let me try to share my screen. But yes, the MIP tools will open in a separate window. I mean, let me connect. Let me go back to my screen.
Oh, 3 o'clock. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, we have a black screen right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have connected. So am I still audible?
yeah. We can hear you fine.
Yeah. Okay, I lost my connectivity briefly. So sorry about that. Let me- I'm still having the connectivity for this.
Mm. Maybe we can take another question.
Yeah.
Okay, in case you missed my question, has it been tested with SiteMinder SSO, and what are the results? Has it been tested through a reverse proxy? This is
Yeah, I'll
from
get.
Neville.
Yeah, so I'll come back with the details of the SiteMinder SSO test to you, Nabil, because the details you ask, I'll have to refer back to my engineering team and come back to you. So, what is the roadmap for development of web client, which appears in 10.2.2? So, in terms of the web client, the web app would actually recreate all the functionalities that's possible in the one click client, and if considering that, uh, the web app the web app is our kind of go forward solution for uh, accessing without kind of a lightweight browser based access. So that's our go forward direction. So at some point we'll be phasing out the web client.
Okay. So if you want to ask any live question, please, you can unmute your line by hitting #6. In the chat box, I think we did not miss any question. I'm checking again.
Yeah, and I have copied all the questions. In case we have missed any, we'll post answers to the question with the recording, and I'll also reach out to the uh, individual who raised the questions directly.
Okay. So if there is no one question from Glenn, why no remember me box at lunch?
Okay. Yeah. So Glenn, we'll come back. That's a valid point there. So we'll come back to you on this. And we really need this for Spectrum Service Manager. Yeah, as Saurabh said, we have that in the backlog.
Mm. Okay, if there is no more question, I think we can wrap up the session. So again, thank you, Amy. Thank you, Seb, for this demo. So one more from Glenn. Full screen mode, remove browser borders.
Yeah, valid feedback. I mean, point taken there. Because the browser border does make the web app look smaller. Yep.
Mm. Okay, I can see no more questions. So thank you all. Thank you, Amit. Thank you, Sab. And thank you for taking time out of your day to learn more about the new web app. As Amit said, the recording will be posted in the community tomorrow along with the question in the chat. So if you want to replay the recording or if you missed the beginning, so you can have it anytime on the community. Thank you very much. I wish you a great day, and I'm giving you 7 minutes back from your day. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thanks, Octave. Thanks, Saurabh. Thanks, everyone, for joining the call.